Hello there. Good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Thank you to every single person that's joining me today on this edition of Knocks2Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi Ute, and such a joy to come your way today. Happy Workers' Day to all the workers out there. Every single person is a worker, whether you have a career or you're an entrepreneur, you're working. So happy Workers' Day. I'm sure you had a great weekend, and I trust God you're going to have a restful day, and the rest of the week will be glorious. Happy Workers' Day. Now, today, wow, I'm excited about today. I have thought about how to have today. I thought about having it pre-recorded. I toyed with different things, but voila, it's a public holiday. So I'm privileged, I'm opportune, and I'm excited to have with me live on Knocks2Nugget three dear friends, and they'll be talking to us about parenting from their perspective. So we parents always talk about what we need to do, what we need to do. Do we really know what the children want? So I want to let them introduce themselves, but join me as I bring on stage Knocks2Nuggets, my three beautiful friends today. Please celebrate them as they all join in. So I have here Shemilore. Hey, Shemilore, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I have
Yes, ma'am.
Daniel in the house. Hey, Daniel, you're welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you. And of course, I have this babe. I've always admired her on stage, but today I have her right here on Knocks2Nuggets. Essay. Good to have you. Good
Hi.
morning.
Morning.
Okay, so I'm going to allow each of you to introduce yourselves for half a minute each. So I'll go with you, Shemilore. Who is Shemilore?
So Shimilari is a Christian, obviously, and I believe that I can be who I am destined to be. And because of what is inside me and what like my personal beliefs and like what my parents have put into me and the church has put into me. And I believe that the Lord has given me everything that I would need to have a fulfilling destiny. So that is Oluwashimilari.
That is Oluwa Shemilore. Thank you so much. So over to you, Daniel Olubumi.
Okay. Olubumi Daniel is a saxophonist. He's 12 years old, and mostly I just believe in God and what God wants for me. As it is, the meaning of my name is God is my judge. So
I like that. I like that. And over to you, Essay.
My name is Okukoni Esele Anna, but I prefer to be called Essie Anna. I am a Christian. I would say that I'm a minister in everything I do, from my singing to speaking and every other aspect.
Yes, and all the parents are rooting for all of you on this program today. Awesome. So I'm going to throw the first question at all of you three. What exactly is parenting? Who wants to go first? Maybe Essay.
I
Let's
think
hear you. What's parenting?
okay.
How was your consent?
Mm.
Is
So parenting is the act of or the process of nurturing a child or an offspring to prepare them for reality. So you
hmm.
can say that parent is parents are leaders in the house. They are the visionaries of the house. They are the ones that have the vision. They are the ones that have the mission statement, and they're the ones that make sure that that vision comes to pass.
Hmm. Wow. That's a lot of responsibility. I won't take you on yet. Shemilore, what's parenting?
To go off what as I said, I actually, I really agree with it. I think it's nurturing a child, but like it's also like providing the necessary support for and love for a child. And for me personally, I think the need of a child is like spice. You need the spiritual, you need the social, you need the physical, you need the psychological, you need the intellectual, you need the cognitive and the emotional. And like if those are all the needs of like a child, and like if those needs are met, I think that is the true definition of parenting.
Who, if all those needs are met, that's the definition of parenting. Parents, are you hearing your own today? Okay, Daniel, what's parenting to you?
Okay. Parenting parenting can be defined as the not only nurturing and taking care of the child, but also training the child in the way the child is supposed to go. And it's also the process of raising a child by providing the necessary, how do I put it? The necessary things that the child is going to be needing throughout their lifetime.
Hmm. Wow. This is interesting. So, parents, they're supposed to nurture us, prepare us for the future. I'm also a child, so it's us. Prepare us for the future. SS says you must have a vision and a mission statement. Yes, somebody says I'm learning a lot already. Trust me, I also am learning a lot. So, provided having a vision and a mission statement. And then they said is providing spiritual, social, emotional, cognitive, psychological, all round support for the child. And they said it's training the child, raising the child, and providing the necessary things for the child for the days of their life. So parenting is laying the foundation. Hmm. Wow. Let me ask now, who should I throw this at first? I think I should go to Shemilore. Shemilore,
Yes,
let me
ma'am.
ask you. Daniel killed it by saying providing, raising the child, training the child, providing the necessary things for the child for the life of that child. Is there any
Yes,
role?
ma'am.
Is there anything the parents then must do in career choices for the child? Is that part of the role of the parents?
Yes, I think a parent should guide a child and be like, oh, what do you want? Like, they should prepare them. Oh, I can see, like, as I said, a vision and a mission. Like, what do you see in the nearest future? Like, do you think this is gonna work? This is what do you see yourself going into this? And I think when it comes to career, a lot of parents, I see people in my age, a lot of parents kind of use the fact that they couldn't get a specific um career to impose it on their children. Well, which it might have worked then, but like the world is moving and the child has the vast world in their mind. And I think parents should like kind of think of the what are you actually interested in? Like 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 in our family we have these values. What do you think, like your interest and the values, what do you think you can bring out of this? What career can you bring out of this? Like if I like as we said, Essay likes is into the musical, and like her parents know that, oh, she has to give a good image. Is she gonna be a singer? Like I will like if her parents are like, oh no, you must be an engineer. I think that's not the guiding, that's imposing. And like I
Hmm.
said, it has to do with the emotional, the physical, the social. Because if your child is able to get, like if you're telling them, oh, you have to do this, there's gonna be like a void in their heart, and you don't want that for a child. Because at the end of the day, you want a child to understand that, oh, you gave them this much needs, and that's why you should invest in your family. That's why you should stick with the vision and mission and the core values of your family. So I think parents are there to guide, and guide a child to their career, and not really like impose their beliefs and their
Hmm.
understanding. Beliefs and understandings are important because that's how you're going to guide a child, like based on your experience. You have friends that, oh, they went through this route and you found out that it didn't really work in the future. But like if you shut down every other door of the child, every other emotion, and the child is kind of running on your own diesel and fuel. Guess what? You too, you will run diesel and fuel, like, because you are not the only child. Even if you are the only child, they will need diesel and fuel for themselves. So the child needs to know how to make their own fuel, like be able to stress themselves for everything what they want to do. Like you have to know, oh, I can't use my mom and dad's certificate, so I should be able to make up something for me, like sustain or something to like further this family, move this family forward. So that's what I think about like the role of parents in career.
Like Auntie Hilda said, so these young people are, they are on their way to being great parents, and I'm so excited. And Auntie Binta said, he said it's not a small job. You guys are telling us parenting is not for boys and girls. It's a major thing. But I hear what you're saying. Parents should guide and not impose. So that thing you wanted to do all your life and you could not do, now you have a child. Oh yeah, I want to be a doctor. So now you must be a doctor. You shouldn't do that. That's interesting. Parents do not live vicariously through their children. Yes, don't live through your children. Exactly my example. You wanted to be a doctor. I'm reading what Auntie Binta said, and you didn't achieve it. So don't impose. I'm hearing you very clearly. Don't impose. But Daniel, are you in agreement? And yes or no, I want to know, how did you get into being a saxophonist?
Okay. So I really much agree with what Emilio said. And how I became a saxophonist is really simple. The first place I saw the saxophone was with my uncle. Okay, let me start like this. The two sides of my family is all music. We both know music to an extent. So then, when I was giving birth to, I really loved the drums. And then my mom used to go to church for rehearsals with my dad. So then, when the drummer is playing, probably when he's starting, she used to feel a slight rumble in her stomach when she was still had me. Then when I was giving birth to, I would just station my eyes on the drum, like till he's done playing before I can move to other things. So as I was growing up, I saw the saxophone as a very interesting instrument at the orchestral training at Tremor Quarters. Then I started from there. I got some other teachers, other role models to learn from, DJ Stars and the rest. Then I became who I am today.
Hmm. Wow. I hear from you the parenting guide. I hear from you the fact that you had it is like it was in the gene kind of a thing. And then you had role models. I will come back to you on role models, Daniel. Trust me, I will come back. But Essay, you are also quite similar. One of the things that attracted me to you first, I had to ask, who is that babe? Is the way you sing with everything. You are dancing with everything. What got you into it? Is it also because your mom is there? Did they tell you, I'm in the choir? So, oh yeah, you too, choir. Or you evolved? Tell me your story.
Um, for me, I've always loved singing and dancing. I like being in entertainment basically. So being into music, I never need to express myself. And I found out that even while I'm singing, I could also dance as well. So I just basically liked the total package that it gives me. Ministering gives me the total package, and I enjoy it. That's all.
Oh, so it was for you a total package. I love what
And
the
I'm
name
also
points
very
us to.
grateful for my parents.
Okay.
I'm also, okay, let
So
me continue.
clearly,
I'm also very grateful for my parents because they have been able to secure me and like keep me in check, because this entertainment, let me be honest, it can make you go haywire. It can make you go haywire. So my parents were good role models, as Daniel said, and they really like kept me in check.
mm, Thank God for parents. They kept you in check. I like that. I love what Inefo said. Said, don't impose career choice on your children. My daughter politely told me the other day, Mom, I want to be me, not you, not anyone else. And something SS said just hit on that topic. I'll let them be secure in whom they are, but then keep them on check. Daniel, I'm going to come back to you on that role model. I'm holding you on it. But before, Esther, let me ask you, still on this last thing you said, entertainment. Let's talk about social media briefly before I come back to role modeling. A lot of us parents are a bit edgy when it comes to social media. Are we just being paranoid or should we be afraid? Is social media child friendly? Or you think we should actually put our eyes, our nose, our mouth in when you guys are on social media? I said, did you hear me? Hey, I think I'm losing essay. Wow. I will come back to essay on that. I think I'm losing her. Network, you will behave. Amen. Okay,
Hello.
essay, are you there now?
Hello. This is my network.
Okay, Shemi Lore, do you want to answer to that while I'm waiting for essay?
Um, yes, I would like to answer. So for me, I think parents should be concerned, but like they shouldn't also be concerned. I know that's like, oh yeah, that's like a half foot in, half foot out. But like I'm gonna explain it to you because I think it's just like bank account for your child. You're going to be like, Mr. and Mrs. This bank account don't give anybody
Hmm.
your
Shemi Lore, I think I'm losing you too. Wow. Shemi Lore, your network is
give you
breaking.
times two of this money. Don't, because the money there and you're gonna put limit on the account.
Shemi Lore, I think your network is breaking. I'm not able to hear you anymore. So, should I essay? Are you back now? Yes, so essay and Shemi Lore's network must behave. Okay, Daniel, let me come to you. On social media, will you answer that while I'm
Uh,
waiting for Daniel, Shemi Lore and essay?
no problem, ma'am. Okay.
So, should we be
So
afraid when you
when the
guys are on social
social
media? Go ahead, Daniel.
okay, so social media, okay, I feel that I'll go back to what I said before. That after you train a child in the way they're supposed to go, so says the Bible. And what's the right way to go? Obviously you have to train the child to do the good things. Tell them the difference between the bad and the good. And you don't like impose what you want them to do on them. They are very good followers. They are not the best listeners.
Mm.
The way they behave is like a train. You know, the first part of the train is where the conductor stays. And that's what guides the other part of the train round to where they are going to. And one day, those other parts of the train will now become the leader, and they will have to guide their own children in the way they were taught to go. So if you teach your children the right thing to do, you shouldn't be scared when they are with the internet, knowing that what they are going to do with it is not going to harm them in any way, but it's going to add to them. That's what I feel.
Hmm. Daniel, you have taken it to another level. You talked about training. Now, if you train them in the way that they should go, then shouldn't be afraid. And I love that your analogy talking about the train and where the conductor stays. Hey, Essay, are you back? Is Essay back in the house? Yes, Essay seems to
I'm
be
back.
back. So, Essay, yes, so let's talk about social media. Daniel has brought an interesting perspective, but let me hear from you. Should we be afraid?
No. Yes and no, like Shimnuri said. um well, it comes down to relationship really. As Daniel said, train a child in the way it should go. So if you have a relationship with your child, you understand how the child talks, you understand how the child expresses herself. So you should have a good relationship. And that relationship can also influence how the child also packages his or herself on social media as well. So I don't think relationship, a children to have a relationship with their children and understand who their child is.
Hmm. So, talking about relationship, and I don't remove from it at all. Parents need to have relationship with their children. But I'm still on social media. Where is the role of peer pressure? Because sometimes the parents have trained, but all your friends are saying, let's go hang out on this dating site. And all your friends are there. How do we ensure that we don't lose you to peer pressure? Esther, I'm still with you. Because I know you
Okay,
have an
so
Instagram handle. Mhm.
it's still on relationship really because there are people that are really close to their parents that can express anything, like express down to how things are doing them gongo, how the thing they do them, even like how their friends are. If you have a relationship with your children, you'll be able to know who their friends are. They'll be comfortable enough to express this and this with you. So it's still down to relationship. Many parents don't have relationship with their children, they just live together like
Mm.
housemates, and that's it.
Hey, parents, are you hearing what I'm hearing? Are we on the same page? So some of us are like housemates with our children, Jesus. But if you truly have relationship with them, you will know their friends. They will be free to come back to you and tell you, Mom, Dad, see what my friend told me today. Oh, I went to my friend's site. See what is there. They can show it to you. So it's us really having to come to their level, leave our high horses, and grow with them and be able to groom them and build and put them in the right path. But talking about relationship, Daniel, there's this thing about daddies and daughters, mummies and their sons. Does that really apply?
Mm, I say my family does
Mm,
because
mm,
mostly when I want to like express what I'm actually feeling at that point in time, I mostly like to go to my mom. Then my sister, she feels like my dad is like a police, but she can just go and report anything to him. But
mm,
for those families that it doesn't work like that, you should be able to, as a child, you should be able to go to both parents at any point in time and they should be ready to accept your side of things.
mm,
Because there are
mm.
some things that parents do to children nowadays that they don't feel happy about, but they can't talk back knowing that their parents are not going to, how do I put this? Their parents are not going to freely accept it because they feel that whatever they say should be accepted just like that. They shouldn't be
Mm.
told what to do because they feel they are older and they are the parents, so they should be the boss around here. But it's not like that. It's not really like that. If you really want to build a strong relationship with your children.
Wow, did you hear that? So you're not the boss, so get down from your chairmanship chair. You are not the boss. Did you hear that? That you don't have to be right. That's what children are telling us, that we are not always right. So when we think we have given the advice, it might not be the advice they want to hear then. So we should not impose. Again, coming back to train, guide, do not impose. Shemilore, welcome back. And we are still on this issue of social media. And
Yes, ma'am.
everybody is saying we should be afraid, but we should really not be afraid. It's a yes and a no. And Daniel, and I think it's Esther that said, if you have a relationship with your children, they should be able to tell you everything. Shemilore, what's your take on this thing? Social media. Should we still, are you sure we should be at rest? Or should we just carry our Bibles on our head and begin to kabash? God help us.
I honestly think we should do both. Like, back to, like, if you train a child, because like you're not gonna give the child like the social media immediately they get born. Like, there's a gap, and that gap, if you fuel it with boundaries, control, family values, mission, vision, like essay said, I think that is very important. And if it aligns with your family values, then once you've put that much impact into a child, like the child has already knows that values over a specific amount of time. Let's say 10 years. After 10 years, the child cannot just drop those values anyhow. So like in my family, I'll give you an example. Like Mish family value is great. G, is it godly? Is it respectful? Is he excellent? Is he accommodating? Does he have integrity in it? And is it something of a team spirit? So I like, even though it's not always my backdrop, I'm always like, oh, what I want to do. Is he actually godly? Is he actually because I am not from like where I am right now. I always know I'm not only representing myself, I'm representing my surname, I'm representing my church, which is Trem, like anything, and I'm representing my country. So everything I do, I'll be like, oh, is it respectful? Is it the right thing to do? So now that comes into social media. In social media, I'll be like, do I really need to do this? Do I, like my parents are like, oh, there's no need for that right now. Let me live it a few years. Let me see how that evolves. Like on social media, you can always find something that you want to do. Now I want to go into artificial intelligence for me to know coding and robotics. But if I wasn't on social media, I would be like, oh, I'll just get to university and they'll tell me everything I need. But like I found out through social media that there are programs I have to do. I have to go for volunteering work. Like I have to click off some list and like some things that I feel personally, because like when you are not in your parents, when you're not in the grasp of your parents, that's when you truly know like test like your values are tested. Because like I'm not really in the grasp of my parents, I always have to be like, oh Chimilore, like you have like when it comes to the godly part spiritually. So in the church we have something power for the wise, and I always make sure I always listen to it. At least that's one thing. One day I should know that God, I've at least done one thing godly today. Like it throughout my school, I'd be like, Shimno, the way you said that to your friend, was it respectful? And that helps you in social media. So social media has helped me, not because now I'm not in the grasp of my parents. My parents are not like, Shimno, you must read. How to zone out of social media and be like, yeah, this time is just for God. And I think when I was like with my parents, like that thing was always there, but I never really understood the value and the need for all these things. I'm appreciating it now, and I'm going to appreciate it. Like that's the way. Also in Christianity, like God is going to also not. When I would like to say test your faith, because God is always going to put more challenges in front of you, and He knows you can overcome it. As my parents already the would I say the plan, the backdrop, the manual for everything for me to find, oh, my parents already said, oh, go to the Bible will help you. I go to the Bible, oh, I've seen my solution, that kind of thing. My parents are putting inside me. I'm like, oh, what are the few things I need to check? Is it respectful? Am I going to disgrace myself? Am I going to disgrace my parents? And I think social media kind of grooms you and is like my testing ground for that. Sometimes I would want to go out for a social event just because so that I will put picture on the gram and everything. But then I will realize that, is it really necessary? For me, it's always like when you're going for an outing, there are two main important, I think three, but I only like really like two. Is your presence so important that without you anything can be done? And do you actually have anything else to sacrifice? So for me, those are the two things. is my present day. So if I want to go for an outing, like, and I have an exam, and I'm like, Shimino, but you have an exam, you have all these things to do. Why not just stay? And my parents are always like, oh, my mom especially, she's like delayed gratification, and I always stand on
Mm,
that. Now I'll just be
mm,
like, should I really need to go for the this? Because we had like in my dorm, we had like outing that we had to do, and they went to the movies, and I was like, no, I wanted to stay with my mom. I wanted to like be with her. Like I had exams to do, and I was like, oh, there's always going to be another time. After when they came back, they were like, oh, they didn't even know why they even came, and they had the exam and everything. And I was happy that like my parents had already given me, that kind of thing. But all of them, even the social media that they wanted to do, they were like, oh, it was not even useful. So why did we even? So I think social media also tests like you not only find something career path morally, but you also kind of where your child is at when it comes to career. Once you see, oh, this child has done something, you'll be like, oh, this is the wrong thing to do. So let me correct it now. And I think that's it also boils down with family values, discipline, the vision of the family. And once that is imputed into the child, I don't think there's anything to really, really worry about and panic about. Just like tell this child, oh, this is what you are really going into. Are you ready for this? Do you think you are like socially ready, emotionally ready? Because also social media takes a toll on somebody's what's it called? Somebody's like image. You need to be found, like know where you are actually. Like, oh, everybody has insecurities, but like, are you able to know how to your reaction after that insecurity should be accounted for, not because oh somebody is bullying you online. You need to know, God, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, thoughts of good and not of evil, that kind of thing. Always remind yourself about things like that. And I think it's quite important that few steps in like knowing how to go back to the manual and say, yes, this is what's gonna happen.
wow. Hell, parents, I hope you are listening. But Shemilore, you were fantastic in the way you kept reminding everybody the core values, the vision, the mission, the things the parents have put in you. Train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart. And we are seeing it play out. So even on social media, and like somebody picked on it, Olufunke did, said, delayed gratification is one virtue all of us parents must inculcate in the children. When they can delay gratification, it will help. But Daniel, let me ask you, is there anything like overparenting? Mm.
Anything.
Yes, you want to think about it. Is there anything like overparenting?
It's like
Or are we just always school? What did you say?
it's like sometimes it like goes and comes. It
Mm,
goes and it comes. I don't know what really triggers overparenting in parents of today. But what I would say about that is that it depends on maybe the way you're looking at it. Maybe the parent has studied the child in and knows what to do in order to get the child to do the right thing. And sometimes overparenting may be what the child needs at that point in time. But as the child is growing, it will become a constant disturbance to that child because the child already knows that, oh, this is the good. It just needs
mm,
to convert that good to the bad, to know the negative. Then he knows that I'm not supposed to do the negative, I'm supposed to do the positive. Then the parent is still hammering it on that child after the child already knows what to do. Then that's when it becomes overthinking.
hmm. In short, let's not nag the children. Once we have told them once and they have heard us, you know what? They have heard. Let us just be the guide. Let's be the teacher. Let's not be the impostor. Let's not be the hawk breathing down their neck. You must do it this way. You must do it this way. We made our mistake. So sometimes children don't want to make their mistake. I had an interesting story of a child who the parents kept saying, iron is hot. Don't play with iron. Iron is hot. You don't play with iron. And on this beautiful day, the washerman thought she was sleeping and stepped out to go ease himself. Before he came, the guy had looked and said, "Oh, uncle is not there again." Ran to the iron and pulled the iron down and touched the base. And of course, got very well burnt. And then came and said to the teacher, "Iron is very hot." Sometimes they want to experience and say iron is very hot. However, whatever we do as parents, there's something we must always do. Fill them with the word of God, pray for them, let God be their friend as well. Let them know God for themselves. It will go a long way. And essay, let me now throw it at you. Do you ever feel that the parents are nagging? Or you think, yeah, you're smiling already.
I should say something.
Yes. Esther, are you there? Do you feel we parents nag, or it's just they're just being parents? I think her sound is failing.
I didn't hear your question. Can you please?
I said, do you think we parents nag?
It depends on the child. Though. Well, it can be important because some people don't used to hear words. I'm some people, so it can be important sometimes to like hammer on it because sometimes our heads are filled with a lot of things. Really, our heads are filled with a lot of things. So when an instruction is given, it might not have really sunk in. So it can be important sometimes to like repeat it over and over again.
Hmm.
Okay, for overparenting, sorry if I digressed a little
Yes,
bit.
go ahead.
Parents should forgive themselves, forgive themselves for the things that they're not able to achieve, so that it doesn't become a problem. And also, I also feel like they should also still pursue their goals despite the fact that they are parenting children. Because the thing is, what causes overparenting is that they forget their goals, they forget everything that they want to do, and they just pour everything to their children. And now there is
Hmm.
now a problem of high expectation. Like they want their child to be this, they want their child to be that. And I just feel like they should forgive themselves and then they should pursue their own goals because this even helps the child to see that okay, my mom, my dad is a go getter and I want to be a go getter as well.
Hmm. Wow. Did you hear that? They said we should not hide under parenting, not to pursue our goals. I know she said something very critical. Said, forgive yourself of the things you could not achieve. So you don't pour on your child the pressure that you had for not achieving something. Yes, you did not achieve it. Forgive yourself and let this child live his or her own life. And don't hide under parenting not to pursue your goals. Hmm, that is huge. Don't I? And really, for parents, a lot of us have that challenge. So you are raising a child, you wanted to do a professional exam, but then you are torn between the two. They are saying, go for it. They want you as a go getter. They want to celebrate. Ah, my mom achieved this. No, my dad achieved this. You yourself be a go getter that they can follow in your footstep. Hmm. I love what Auntie Bina they said you should not badger them, don't nag them, but talk and guide. Shemi Lore, you are giggling there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes, ma.
what's your take on overparenting?
Back to what Daniel said, I think sometimes you actually do need to like nag. I know like it's kind of skeptical, but like you actually do need to nag because I know like because sometimes I just need that point driven in hard. Like Shemilore, you better want yourself. Like and my dad is usually someone like over the years he's gotten better. Is like my dad will tell you something once, you tell you twice, you tell you thrice. Now after the third strike, now he's gonna give you the punishment that you actually do need after that. And I think it is important that you drive that thing. And I think apart from also, I think is it will be called nagging if the communication isn't right. That's
Mm.
something like we also don't also know, because it's called nagging when my dad has gotten, I got this from my own dad, because my dad noticed that like not everything, sometimes the way my dad communicates to me isn't the way my daddy communicate to the my brother, which is after me. Now, me, I'll take things once, I will analyze it. My brother will need certain examples. My sister will need real life basis to do it. So my dad will be like, Sheminore, yeah, you can't do this. So my brother will be like, Oridua, look at me. If I use, my daddy is someone, he will use analogy. If you do this, think of the consequences. If you don't study for your exam, no, my daddy will be like, oh, if you don't bring a pen to class, how will you write your note? If you don't write your note, what will you read for exam? If you don't read for exam, you fail the class, you repeat the class. But me, I'll know that if I don't bring notes to exam, what will happen? I will start running helter skelter. I will miss viewpoints. That's how my mind goes. And I think when a parent is able to effectively communicate into a child, that the child understands and understands, and communication also goes both ways. There are sometimes I'll tell my daddy, I actually didn't like, in the heat of the moment, I understood what you're trying to say, but the way you communicated to me, I think we can work on that in the future. I will try my best to like understand what you're saying and not always counteract. But like sometimes I'm always also like, daddy, I think we should come back on this topic, because both of us are like, we're not going anywhere. Like we're like this, and we're supposed to be solved into each other. We're like, let's come back to this topic, and we'll be able to see. Let's calm down. Because we don't want to say something that is too rash, because one of us will not get budge head against each other. So both communication is right. So once communication is not only a one person thing but a two-person thing, I think that's when stuff is gonna be happening. And for overparenting, I think overparenting to me is like what Essie said, when you impose your ideas onto like a child. I would want to see, like, if I see my parents, like my mommy, like if she gets an exam and I'm like, guess what? My mommy passed an exam A at her age. How much more me that is younger? I'll be like, okay, so Shemnori, you have to beat your mom. Me too, I must get A plus. That's the thing that gingers me. But if I see my mommy is not doing anything, she's Kuma. Some parents try. I'm just gonna say some parents do try. There's not every parent that go through exam, go through everything, but like the little things that my mom does, like my mom is cooking out of her busy time. She's cooking for us. Me too. I also know. Okay, me too. Out of my busy time, I should also cook for the house and my parents. I think that also makes me like, once I see them as an I unintentionally grab it, and I think that happens for every child. If you see your parents doing something, you'll be like, that's quite good. That's quite commendable. Let me do it too. So I think might not be that much, but like always, I always know something at the back of my mind. Everything everybody's gonna say to you, there's always a purpose for it. Sometimes it's only 1% that you need to keep in your head, though, and the other 99% is not really like the communicator is just bashing everything, but there's always a core stuff that like somebody wants to drive home into you. That's like my own like point in that.
I had to start laughing. I couldn't help it. Sorry. It's that sometimes of the 100%, only 1% is what they need. Ew, children. So 99% we're just talking. But okay, no problems. The what I'm enjoying, and wow, we spent 43 minutes. I thought it was just be a very short one. What I enjoy in this conversation is you guys being real, being just real. I can see somebody saying chai. Yes, your mom is learning and she's saying chai. But something Shemilore said struck a chord. Every child is different. So the way you talk to Essay might not work with Shemilore. What works with Shemilore might not work with Daniel, but they're all children. So if you have the three of them in one family, you must know your child and know what to do with each one. And that's one thing you need to do. Yes, they are keeping it very real. And today is public holiday. I'm tempted to just go on, but we'll not keep going on. We will still respect time. I think I just want to take your final words because many questions are in my head. But before I take your final word, Daniel, let me ask you this. How do you balance your passion for music and education? And Essie, I'm going to also ask you that same question. I know you're also the entertainment, the social media person. How do you balance it with your academics?
It's really very simple. I take academics, I imagine it in my mind as a bag. In one hand, I take my saxophone and entertain it like also in another bag on my other hand, and then I move with both of them. I don't drop one behind and I'm moving with one because it's like what the shepherd did when one sheep was left behind. He left the 99, went in search of that one. What I would do is that I have practiced. No, I can say it. I have practiced my saxophone, and I'm trying to get better and better in my academics as well. So as I'm taking the both of them, let's say I have in a day we have just 24 hours. So I try to split those 24 hours into a way that my academics won't be affected by my saxophone and my saxophone will be affected by my academics.
Wow, that is a lesson on balancing. It says, I take my academics in one hand, my saxophone in another hand, and I go with both of them together. That's a huge lesson in balancing. Essay, what's your own experience?
Mute now. It's different from you. So education is very very important, and it's very like it's the foundation. So that is like it has to be really important at least at this stage of my life, because it's not easy to go back to it when you're much more older, because you have other responsibilities as well. So like me, let's give an experience. So last year I love dancing. I joined a dance crew, and we had to work, serious work, and it wasn't easy at all. It wasn't easy at all because like I had different assignments to manage, and then I have school assignments to manage, and it was just like it messed with my head. So I have to now take things small small, like for my passions. Yes, I have like plans that I want to have this thing to do in future. I have to take things a little bit bit by bit while I'm still pursuing my education, because I can't do everything at once. I'll crash.
Hmm. I like that. You know, what she's again, the two of them have brought has shown us the different sides of a child. Daniel is saying, I can hold both and keep going. Esther says, I can't hold both, I beg you. I can't come back to education. So I will focus on my education and I'll keep taking my entertainment as it goes. That tells you no two children are the same. Everyone is unique in themselves. Daniel could balance. As I said, no, I can't do that balancing thing. I will do my education. I don't want to come back and meet that one. This, I can always keep growing. Parents, we need to know our children. We need to know what works for every child. Let's not compare a child with another. They are different. Their future is, everything about them is different. Even twins, the most identical twins, they are different. Even Siamese twins, the moment they get separated, they will want to go their separate ways. Let's allow them be themselves. And yes, BMG, you said it well. All three of you are super amazing. Thank you so much, Essay. Thank you so much, Shemilore. Thank you so much, Daniel. It's been amazing having the three of you on this call. Trust me, you really have
Welcome,
added value
welcome.
to us on this call. Every parent watching and every parent that will watch after will pick huge nuggets from all of you. Yes, we will allow them be themselves, truly. And you know, next week, Monday, we'll be talking to another career woman. We'll be talking to us about the challenges of being a career woman in parenting. So before I let you go, let me ask you I know some parents want to my neck at this question. And I'm asking the three of you. Have you ever felt neglected by your parents? Either maybe it's daddy or it's mommy or it's even both of them. At that time you felt they don't even have my time. They are so choked up with their work. I think I'm secondary at this time. Have you ever felt like that? Who will go first?
Should
In the
I?
shortest way. Shemilore, yes, we are ready. Yes.
Yeah. I think I have felt neglected, but not in the way like it's being put out. I expect my parents and like the fact that they're not only providing for me for like other like my other siblings, so I give them the space they need. And though I know that I'm neglected, the parents always put like, and that's why I think I fill up myself with other things like to make sure I don't have that idle mind. Always for me, there's always something to do. I always respect my parents that even though I feel neglected, like there's always one parent that is always on the call, and that's Jesus. Like that's for me. I'm like, God, please can you just make my parents just be free this weekend so that I would just, just have like small time with them. And I think that is important. Like to me, it's kind of like a respect thing. Like also me too. When I'm also on my exam time, my mommy I cut them all off, but like I just yes, I have exam right now. Nobody should disturb me. Please give me that respect of time. And I think my parents also should have that type of respect from me too. Like, okay, this time they want to grind, they want to work for me, my future. So let me give them that respect. When they have free time, I might like cozy up to them, or I'm like, Jesus, can you just give them enough money right now? Let them just focus on me. Yeah. So that
Wow.
I have felt neglected for like that's it.
Hmm. Thank you. Okay, who wants to go next? I'm getting feedback from somebody.
But I didn't get the question.
I said, have you ever felt neglected by either or both of your parents?
Mm, no,
No. Hmm. That's
seriously, it
interesting.
doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. Tell me how it works.
Parents should be able to open their hands to their children when, even when I come back from school, I talk to my mom, I tell her what happened in school today. If anything I didn't like happened in school, I tell her, or I tell my dad, whosoever is around at that point in time. And I feel that other parents out there should not leave their responsibilities or work for the teachers at school, because they too have their own children that they are managing at home. So that's how I feel it should be.
Parents are your own. They said, don't leave the work for the teachers and don't leave it for the nannies. Do your work. Essay, do I want to hear from you?
Uh, so for I feel like parents should be educated, they should prepare before they go into parenting, because many a times because of things have been, they feel like once you like give them food to eat, you give them shelter, you take them to school, that is all they need, and they neglect the emotional needs of the child. So yes, I feel like I have been neglected by my parents because they don't understand the child. They don't understand the child's love language as well. I feel like understanding your child's love language too can help you to properly teach the child. Some people just want to be affirmed. Some people want to feel appreciated with gifts. It doesn't have to be something big, but I feel like that should be important. Educate yourself on parenting and understand your child's love language so you can speak with the child.
Ha. We have to draw the curtain. But did you hear that? That's a different kettle of fish. It says you must understand the love language of your child. Every child is unique. Every child has a love language. You must understand the love language of your child. I wish we could go on, but indeed, time is fast spent. We are almost an hour gone on this. And so I'm going to draw the curtain here today. But a big thank you to Daniel Olubumi. Ese Anna Ukokone, and Oluwa Shemilore Olumuyiwa. Thank you to the three of you for keeping it real, for giving us, like somebody said, our report card. Yes, just gave us our report card. We are listening and getting our report card live and direct. And you have opened our eyes to a whole lot. So when I'm talking about parenting, we have heard you. And a lot of us parents are making adjustments. One, I will take what each person has said in this question. Olubumi says, Daniel says, don't leave your children to the teachers. Teachers to have their own children. Play your part. Esther says, know our love language. Know what we want. Understand us. And Oluwashemilore says very clearly, sometimes I also need my space. So yes, at times parents need their space and I feel neglected. Sometimes I also need my space. And when I need my space, parents, you also give me that space. It's got to be mutual respect. Thank you so much, all three of you. God bless you. God keep you. I would come back again, trust me, and another edition of Knocks2Nuggets. So just know that one of these days, I'm going to be bringing you back. Thank you very much and have an amazing public holiday and enjoy the rest of the week. And an amazing month too. It's a month of May. May will answer to the three of you. And I'm using you as a point of contact to all our children globally, that indeed you are taught of the Lord and great will be your peace. You continue to make us proud. You continue to make the nation proud. You continue to stand out even amongst your equals in the name of Jesus. All that you require to be the best, the Lord will make it available for you in the name of Jesus. We'll hear your name on the global platform because you are the seed of the righteous. You will be mighty upon the earth in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much, the three of you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma, for having us.
Wow, it's been an amazing one. I just had to end it. I could go on and on and on and on with the children, but trust me, they were so real, they were so direct. They told us just the way it is, and I'm so grateful. Thank you to everyone on the call. Thank you to everyone who has passed your comments. I appreciate it. And yes, all of us parents, we really do need to buckle up. They've said so much. Parenting is not more and more. I'm telling you, they made that so clear. The Lord will help us. We'll keep bringing them up in the way of the Lord, and the Lord will help us deliver on value with those children. And next week, still on parenting, we'll be hearing from a career woman how she has handled it and how a lot of things will also gain from her. Next week, we're going to be having Abayomi in the house, and I'm sure you have an amazing time as well. So until next week, Monday, when I come your way again, never forget it. If you can think it, you can be it, you can have it, and always together we win. Thank you so much for being on this call. I truly do appreciate and I celebrate you. God bless you all. Bye for now.